They spoke the same language, they shared the same words. They could organize, plan, build, cooperate, and accomplish things no individual family could have achieved alone. Human unity was powerful, but unity itself was never the problem. The question was, what would humanity become united around? After the flood, God had told humanity to multiply and fill the earth. But generations later, people gathered together on one plane. And instead of asking how they could honor the God who had preserved humanity, they began asking how they could secure their own greatness. The generations after Noah multiplied. Families became clans. Clans became peoples. Genesis records the spread of nations and family lines across the earth. Humanity was rebuilding. The flood was becoming memory. Children were being born who had never heard rain strike the roof of the ark. They knew the story through those who came before them. The rainbow remained, the covenant remained, and God's command remained: be fruitful, multiply, fill the earth. But rebuilding civilization would soon expose another question. Would humanity use its strength and humble dependence upon God, or would human achievement become a substitute for Him? Genesis tells us that as people moved eastward, they found a plain in the land of Shinar. And there, in the fertile land of Shinar, they settled together to build their future. For families accustomed to movement, settling offered security. The land was broad, people were together. Skills could be combined, labor could be organized, knowledge could be shared. There was nothing wrong with cooperation. There was nothing sinful about building. But human ability becomes dangerous when success convinces us that dependence upon God is unnecessary. The people developed a plan. They would make bricks, not simply sun-dried material, but bricks baked thoroughly. Stone was not readily available in the same way, so they adapted. They used brick for stone and bitumen for mortar. They had intelligence, ingenuity, organization, technology appropriate to their world, and together, they could build on a scale their ancestors had not known. Human creativity was not the enemy. The God who made humanity in His image had created people capable of learning, designing, organizing, and building. The danger began when the gift became the source of identity, when achievement began answering the question, who are we? They decided to build a city, a place that could hold them together, a place strong enough to resist dispersal, a place that said, we belong here, we are secure here, we have built something permanent. Security is not wrong, community is not wrong, planning is not wrong, but good things become dangerous when we ask them to carry the weight only God should carry. A career can become identity, money can become security, a relationship can become salvation, influence can become worth, and success can quietly become the evidence we use to convince ourselves that we no longer need God. Not everything that replaces God looks evil. Sometimes it looks successful. A career, a business, money, recognition. The danger begins when a good thing becomes the thing that tells us who we are, whether we are safe, and whether our life matters. What have you been asking to give you what only God can provide? Then came the tower. Genesis records their purpose in their own words. They wanted a city and a tower reaching toward the heavens, and they wanted to make a name for themselves. They feared being scattered over the earth. The tower was more than architecture. It became a monument to identity, a statement, a declaration that humanity would secure its own future and remain together on its own terms. There is a subtle danger in success. At first, we thank God for what we can accomplish. Then we become impressed by what we can accomplish. And eventually, we begin to believe we accomplished it alone. Let us make a name for ourselves. Those words reveal the heart of Babel. Human beings had been created to bear God's image. But now they wanted greatness built around their own name. They wanted significance they could construct, security they could control, a future they could guarantee. The temptation has never disappeared. We may not build towers from ancient brick, but people still spend entire lives building names, titles, brands, followers, achievements. None of these things are automatically wrong. The question is, what happens when losing them makes us feel as though we have lost ourselves? If your name is everything, you will live afraid of being forgotten. The people of Babel were united, and unity can accomplish remarkable things. But unity does not automatically make a cause righteous. People can agree together, work together, sacrifice together, and still move in the wrong direction. Being surrounded by people who agree with you does not prove that you are wise. Popularity does not turn pride into humility. Numbers do not transform disobedience into obedience. There is a difference between belonging and surrendering your conscience. Sometimes the crowd is wrong together. Sometimes everyone around you agrees. And you still need the courage to ask, is this right? Have you ever mistaken agreement for wisdom? Genesis says that the Lord came down to see the city and the tower. The language is striking. Humanity's great monument seemed enormous from below. Yet before God, it was something he came down to observe. The tower that made humanity feel large did not make God small. The achievement that impressed an entire civilization did not threaten the Creator. Yet before God, it was something he came down to observe. Then language itself became confused. People who had worked side by side could no longer understand one another. Instructions failed. Coordination collapsed. The system that had made construction possible began breaking apart. The rhythmic noise of work ceases. The tower did not fall. The people stopped building it. Because communication, the invisible structure beneath the visible structure, had fractured. The city had been built to prevent scattering, but the very thing they feared was about to happen. The work stopped, and the people were scattered from there across the earth. The place became associated with Babel because there the Lord confused human language. The people had tried to build a future on their own terms. Instead, humanity spread. God did not destroy humanity. He limited what humanity's united pride could accomplish. Sometimes mercy looks like God refusing to let us continue building something that will eventually destroy us. Some interruptions feel like failure because they stop the plan we wanted. A closed door, a delayed opportunity. Not every disappointment is divine intervention. But Babel reminds us, being able to continue is not always the same as being meant to continue. What am I really building? The tragedy of Babel was not that human beings learned to build. It was that building became disconnected from humble dependence upon God. The question is not whether you should have goals or work hard. You should. The deeper question is, what are you building, and what is it building inside you? Is your success making you more grateful or more self-sufficient? Is achievement making you more generous or more consumed with recognition? Are you building something that serves people, or something designed mainly to prove that you matter? Success is not only measured by what you gain, it can also be measured by what gaining it does to your character. If success makes you less grateful, less humble, and less dependent upon God, then what looks like progress on the outside may be building something dangerous within. What is your ambition producing inside you? Success is not only measured by what you gain, it can also be measured by what gaining it does to your character. The scattering at Babel also became part of the story of humanity's languages and nations. Different languages would shape cultures, families, and communities across generations. Difference does not mean lesser value. Language does not determine human worth. Nationality does not determine human dignity. Human beings can sound different, look different, and live in different places, while still sharing the same fundamental dignity before God. Pride tries to turn difference into hierarchy. Scripture does not give us permission to do that. Difference does not cancel dignity. Human beings sound different, look different, and live in different places. The tower remained unfinished, a monument not merely to what humanity could build, but to what ambition could not guarantee. They wanted a name. They received a reminder. They wanted security. They were scattered. They wanted permanence. Their project stopped. Human achievement can do remarkable things, but it cannot make us God. It cannot guarantee the future. It cannot remove our need for humility. And it cannot give the human heart the identity it was created to receive from somewhere deeper than achievement. Human achievement can do remarkable things. Babel is ancient, but the instinct behind it is familiar. Build enough, and perhaps we will feel secure. Achieve enough, and perhaps we will feel important. Stay in control, and perhaps nothing can scatter what we have built. But Scripture keeps reminding us, you were created to build, but not to worship what you build. You were created for community, but community still needs truth. Ability still needs humility. You may have a name, but your name was never meant to replace God's. The question is not whether you are building something. Everyone is. A career, a family, a reputation. The question is, what is at the center of what you are building? What are you building, and who is it making you become? Everyone is building something, a future, a life. At Babel, humanity tried to make its own name great, but the story was about to narrow, to one family, and then to one man, not a man building a tower so the world would remember his name. A man God would call to leave what was familiar. He would be asked to leave his country, his people, and his father's household, and travel toward a land he had not yet seen. Abram, He would be asked to leave his country, his people, and travel toward a land he had not yet seen. No tower, no map of the future, only a promise and a decision to trust. Abram. Next episode. When God calls you to leave. Genesis 12. New episode Monday. Only a promise and a decision to trust. Which warning from Babel speaks most strongly to you? Pride, ambition, identity, unity, control, or humility? Write one word in the comments and tell us why. Subscribe to Bible in Real Life. Share this episode. Turn on the notification bell. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next Monday. Subscribe to Bible in Real Life. Share this episode. Turn on the notification bell. Thank you for watching.